how to automate social media posting using Blotato. And what we're going to do is use Claude, and I'm going to show you exactly how I go about doing this on a daily basis. We all know the pain, you all know the struggle, what it's like to actually turn around, sit down and actually create your content. Then you have to come along and schedule all the content out. The time sink, pretty much that nobody counts on and no one talks about, is this. You have to log in for every platform. If you're not logging into every platform, you're more than likely jumping over to like you've Meta business. And we all know if you publish and schedule a lot of content, through that, it's an absolute nightmare. Things don't work 100%. Things just get scheduled at random times, I find at times. The same happens when you're using TikTok. You have to go and manually upload every single video or reel. You then manually design all the captions. So you can see all the manual steps that are going to be involved in that. Then not only that, you come to reformat all the text posts. So again, if you're posting a similar reel on Instagram or LinkedIn, what ends up happening is you have to reformat the text to fit that platform. You have to change the overall tone, the angle it's going with based on the audience. If you're not, you're just repurposing the same stuff everywhere and hoping for it to work. This is a big one that hit me, is pretty much forgetting what went out and where it went. There's several times that I've thought I posted onto, let's say, TikTok, but it turns around I might have forgot TikTok today and only posted double the amount on LinkedIn or YouTube or something like that. So again, this is where this massively helps of your overall building and how it's actually done. So what we're going to say is looking at this from the old way point of view, and the old way I was doing this was this week's content, a batch of posts ready to go out. You schedule it manually, platform by platform. So you jump into Meta Suite, you upload it for Facebook, Instagram. You have the same process every time, logging in, reformat, schedule. And what ends up happening is you jump over to LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat in this case, and you pretty much do the exact same thing. It's repeating the workflow, and it's just an absolute waste of time. It doesn't need to be done at this stage anymore. So now what we're going to do here is I'm going to jump over, and this is my exact system at this moment in time. I have a kind of pre-set up and ready for to kind of process this. I'm going to run this. I'm going to let it run through the entire video. It'll probably take 10 or 15 minutes. I may chop it out a little bit, but it's going to show all my content being scheduled. So you can see here I have 25 pieces of content ready to go out. This has been built up throughout the week for me from different videos, different streams, things like that. And all the information is here. You can see LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Again, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. I've removed YouTube for the time being because I'm testing something in terms of my long form and short form. So again, easy way to test things out. So what I'm going to do here is quickly jump over to Blotato. And what I want to do is open a new tab and just show you my actual calendar at the moment. So if we jump in here, this is what I have coming out today. So up until the 29th, I only have a few more pieces, and after that, I think I'm finished. So I have nothing for the 30th, 31st, and so on for the rest of this start of June, I suppose, and I have nothing ready for there. So what I'm going to do now is pretty much start this entire process. My system has already asked me what I would need to answer here, a few simple things. So again, I need some captions ready that haven't been generated. So again, for number one, I'm just going to tell it, so everything is happy and good to go. So with this, my scheduling agent now is going to kick in. It's going to start doing all the work. So with that in mind, the old way, you can see this is what was having to be done. You can see now I'm making the video here. I'm recording the video. I have my content being scheduled out. This already should, if you're looking from this from a business point of view, this should already, you should see, okay, there's a lot of time potentially saved there. Content can be created and put into a folder to be ready to be scheduled when it needs to be scheduled. There's no manually uploading, downloading, moving files and filling in tracker sheets and things like that. So did that go out everywhere is obviously the key thing here. You know, you had to have that problem somewhere along the line. So the new way, as I mentioned and I showed you here, is Claude. We use Claude as the brain, we use Blotato as the system, and from there everything gets put out to wherever you want it to go. These are the placeholder images that I have at the moment. So as I mentioned, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, X, Snapchat. There's something else I'm forgetting. I think it's Pinterest as well. And all that content gets pushed to all them platforms. Key thing here is you're getting an opportunity to be in front of more people. And for me, it's simple. Why not? Why would you just post on one platform? Yes, people will always argue, master one platform before you master them all. Some people, it can be very tough to master one platform. And the key thing here is by being active on different platforms and engaging on different platforms, it's just going to build up your overall business and brand. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is quickly jump over here to Blotato. I want to give you a quick overview of this, of what's involved, because I know I'm only personally using it at a very small level at this moment in time, because I'm just using it for this to schedule content. So you can see all 7 reels now have the captions done. The unique thing about this is all the captions that have been created for individual platforms. So I create one reel, and as I said, it'll get different captions for everything. If I wanted different call to actions, if I wanted to offer different lead magnets, again, it's all can be made to suit the platform. So there's no manually going in there to have to adjust and change everything. So if we jump over here to Blotato, and this is one good feature straight away that you can use. And if you dive into it a little bit more, you'll start to understand what it can achieve. So I can get it to create content for me, and now this doesn't have no context or understanding of what I'm doing. So again, this is going to be a little bit different than what I do inside the actual marketing system over here. So what I've done is I went over here, I've grabbed my most recent video that I made the other day, best way to repurpose content with Claude, and all I've done is grab the URL, jumped over here to Blotato, and use that as a reference. And now what I want to do is I want to create, let's say, Twitter post, LinkedIn, Facebook, that's all. So you can have individual prompts built in here. So if you have a prompt that you like and your go-to ones, you can do it. So I'm just going to use the standard ones they have here. So again, for Twitter, we go 3 limiting beliefs. For LinkedIn, we go 3 surprising misconceptions. And then for Facebook, we'll go for something completely different. Extract wisdom. So this is going to generate posts basically for this, based on this topic. Again, this is a way of repurposing content. If it's a case you don't want to do the whole automation stuff, now you can see the potential here straight away for it. So I'm going to get this to generate, and this is going to work on the right hand side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video that I created also. Over here in videos, all you do is click create new video. These are all the templates that are already after being made and set up by Sabrina, obviously, who's the creator. We'll show that in a minute. So I just picked this one over here on the right, and all I want to do is create this style of image or video. So if I jump back into wherever it is, over here, all I had to do was click on this, describe my idea, click on here, and then just input the quotes. Again, the quotes are just generic quotes I took from ChatGPT, but upload your own image, your social handle, team. There's no messing around with Canva if you're wanting to do this. What I find is variety is the spice of life, I suppose. And the key thing here to remember is if you're able to do this, and these can come out maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, something like that, just to change things up. So you can see now this, it's being generated. So it is kind of like a sequence of videos. You can see everything has been added into this. There's no work for me having to be done here. All structured right to look like on the screen. It brings in your own logo. So if you want your own logo, you want your own whatever it is, it's perfect. One mistake there that I made is when I put the input in here, I put 2 ats. So I should have just put the handle here. So again, I didn't read instructions, so that's my bad, obviously. I can export these. I can export them individually. So now I have, what is it, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have 5 individual posts. Turn around, put them all together. Now you have a 6th post, which is obviously the full carousel video. Again, it's showing information and getting information out there. So that's just a bare, I suppose, tip of the iceberg of what this can actually generate. If we go over here, now you can see we've gone into these posts. So you can see here straight away, right? We have a Twitter post, which is fairly in-depth. Now, this could be turned into threads because it is a bit long for Twitter. And even here, you can see, obviously, if you're on the free tier, we have a LinkedIn post again, which is going into information, which is probably valid enough for LinkedIn. We have Facebook, potentially is a little bit long, but again, it's based on the prompt. The original prompt I gave it was the prompt that's originally made. If these were your own prompts, you can adjust it, you can change things. So over here, you can say, check out a new post I've generated for you. Try asking me to edit the post example, whatever, make it more concise, make it shorter, make it whatever. So let's say make all the posts more concise. Right, so this is going to work away again, and we're going to jump back over to my own system and just give it the approval. You can see here what it's doing. getting the Blotato accounts, creating the 82 scheduled posts. Again, that's 82 pieces of content that I'm scheduling right now, and it just goes to show how quickly this is can be produced content. We jump back over here, and as I said, you can clearly see the entire breakdown. Connect to each platform to Blotato, and I didn't show that, but if we just open up over here, you can easily just go down here to settings, and in the settings, you pretty much can connect all these accounts. So you Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Pinterest, Blue Sky, YouTube. Again, all work perfectly because I've been using this for the last, I want to say, 2-3 months now, and it's been perfect. So no, not the clock. So the cue is not the clock. Set your posting slots once. So again, if we go back to here, I can go into my calendar. We have a weekly schedule, and in here you just set your time. So for Sundays, you can see I just have 2 times. I think I have the same for Saturdays, 2 times, and that's just the way I have it set up. For Mondays to Fridays, you can see there's 4 scheduled slots. I can easily add more slots if I wanted to for whatever day of the week. If you know a Thursday is really good for you, you might be able to post more content on a Thursday. Platform specific captions. Again, this is done through Claude. So Claude now is generating all these captions for me. Everything is being uploaded and getting generated for me. Individual captions. If you have one recommendation here is, I suppose, with Instagram, you can use like captions that are, searchable terms. So how to use AI, how to repurpose content using AI. And as you can see, Claude pretty much drives the entire system now. Once it's connected up very easily to Blotato, and if I go in here, API connection, MCP, you can do it all pretty much very easy and quickly to allow that connection. You see this section here, 15 minutes versus 3 hours. Pretty much schedule 100 pieces of content. You can see down here it's already at 89 pieces of content by hand, which is taking 3 hours. With Blotato, it's about 15 minutes. This video is around 15 to 20 minutes long. All the content will be scheduled out for us for this. This is allowing you to get every week at least 3 hours. This is assuming you're just posting this amount of content. Now, obviously, the big thing here is most people are not producing this content. And what's happening is you're probably spending the same amount of time on creating the same type of content. You're not creating as much of it, obviously, but you're wasting the same amount of time. And the thing here is you put the work, you put the effort into your content, you might as well get it out there and get it seen in more places. So again, 3 hours roughly per week back for me. This is 100% true. Blotato and Claude, basically the 2 of these have changed how I produce or how I schedule content. There's no time drain anymore for it. In terms of costs, you have $29 or 20 something euros for access to Blotato. So if you come over here, you can see I'm only using this package. Again, it gives me the ability to connect, I think, 20 different social media accounts, which is unreal. You can go for the much higher one. In terms of credits, you have credits for a certain amount, I think, of creating videos and stuff like that. There you have it, 1200 credits. I personally don't use a massive amount of credit side of it. Might have to start jumping into it much more, but obviously I don't use it. Up to 900 TikTok posts a month. Again, I can't see any reason to be going that high with posts. And if you're using Claude along with this, you obviously need the plan of that, the pro plan. So that's going to be another, I think, 20 euros, $20 in around that. So for roughly $50-$60, you're getting access to everything you need. You're streamlining your business in terms of content scheduling. And as I said, if you're putting the work in for content, you might as well streamline it. So we jump over here again, just confirm this now. As I said, you can set this up to auto confirm. So there's none of this going back and forth, checking to see is things scheduled or confirming them. This allows us then to pretty much, hopefully you can see this here, is platforms reward accounts that post, this is the key one, consistently. The business that show up on every channel every week beats the ones that post in bursts and goes quiet. I know you're doing that because I done it myself. You go crazy for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, you're 100% motivated, and then you miss a day, and then you forget a day. And now what happens is that whole consistency is after dropping, and you might go back into it in a week or 2. And that's what is basically crucifying you, because your account is probably gets okay views, then it starts to kind of plateau out, and then you lose interest, and you have to start the whole cycle every single time. So automation is what makes this consistency survivable. When you're running everything else, the business is pretty much easier to run for yourself, and that is the key thing. So, as I said, this is everything that you have that you can actually do with Blotato. So now you can see all posts have been scheduled. What we've done is 25 pieces of content have been posted in total to account to 89 posts on social media. You can see main carousels, live news carousels, images, infographics, text posts, and reels. Prep done along the way. Obviously, I worked on his LinkedIn captions, rendered an image here that I hadn't got done already. So this generated for me. And if we quickly see, that's for infographics. So again, if I just, we had 2 different images done, generated for us. And for these, I didn't do anything whatsoever with it. So again, it brought some of my own information into it. So just quickly go through this. Maeve, Galway, cafe owner, 8 months on Instagram. Every caption sounds like a chain bakery wrote it. One Sunday, 30 minutes, wrote down into her cafe actually is, and fed it to AI. Built one workflow, same prompt, same brief, same tool every Monday. A full week of content in 90 minutes. Saturdays are back. Again, quirky, different way of looking at it, different way of giving information to people, I suppose, is the key thing here. Both of these are generated based on the back of what the original input was, which I talked about repurposing content, and that's the key thing here about the input. And if we quickly go through it again, you can see it's logged and verified. So you can see over here, I have all these logged into it. All these are different posts that I've created over the last week, I'd say. You can see, obviously, the ones we just done now. These have all been logged over to our note or over to our Google Sheets. The best thing about this is it allows me to refine what's working and what's not. So every 2 or 3 weeks, I pretty much run this through and process what worked, what didn't, what to remove, what to keep. And if we jump back over here to Blotato and quickly open it up, you can see now that we're on the 29th. At the beginning of the video, we had none. We now have content throughout the entire rest of this week up until next Saturday. So all my content is already scheduled for the entire of next week. I have on average 4 posts coming out per day on all platforms, and overall it's just a massive reduction of what has to be used in time, what you have to spend. So my plan here now is come Monday, Tuesday, I'll do this exact same process. This will fill out the final few slots that are left on a few platforms come to the end of the week, and now I'm going to be further ahead next week. So look, that is the entire process. That is how you can actually go about and scheduling out your content using automation. Again, using Blotato, using Claude. The entire system is built here, ready for you to kind of go. If you're interested in learning more, interested in getting involved in this, if you're interested in learning more about this, how you can use it for yourself, again, as I said, everything inside the community is part of your membership. Once you join, you get access to all the different AI systems and tools like this that I do. The entire workflow, so you don't have to go through all the learning and errors basically that I went through. You can implement this right now for your business. And again, it's a community to help business owners grow using marketing and AI. So any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to reach out to me beforehand, definitely reach out to me. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. So look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching this, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.